Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Anime Watch Club, a bi-weekly group discussion and review where the hosts of the What Do You Say Anime podcast nominate and vote on shows either we haven't seen or shows that will hopefully lead to a great conversation. On today's April Fool's episode, the They Should Have Listened to Pete and We Should Have Watched New Moon Instead goofballs of the What Do You Say Anime podcast, we'll be reviewing the 2017 anime BanG Dream. Let's meet today's band members. First up on keyboard, the serial idol otaku himself, Poppin' Party's biggest fan. We got Johnny. Johnny, how's it going?
Yeah, I just love the part where they bang dreamed all over the place, and it was just one of the anime of all time. It was just truly something to witness.
It was fantastic. Next up on rhythm guitar and the newest owner of the Space Event Center, we got Kat. Kat, how's it going?
You could have had me on drums and you would have been right, but I'm doing great, except for having to, I guess, trudge through this show. It's
Listen, I got baby hands, so someone needs to play guitar.
I've got big hands. And
Perfect.
Drums.
Perfect for guitar.
Perfect for drums.
What? No. Okay. Yes. Our first moderator of the night on lead vocals of the band Poopin' Party. We got Miles. Miles, how's it going?
Is it because I have a baby?
It is because you have a baby. I actually made this joke in Discord earlier, and I thought it was funny, and nobody laughed. So I was like, you know what?
It's funny.
Let's double down and put it on the podcast.
It doesn't get. I think that I'm going to be the highest on BanG Dream out of everyone. So that's I'm rarely not the hater, but maybe I can switch my role up a little bit today.
I hope so as well. And Pat.
Yeah, I'm Poopin' Party's favorite or top band fan. I don't know, man. I am terrible at this.
Top G.
Sure, no, actually, because that's been ruined by. Anyways, BanG Dream. The studio was Zebek, known for hit classics like To Love Ru, Keijo,
BanG Dream,
and BanG Dream. Yeah. And Makin Key, of course, too. Everyone's favorite. So yeah, the studio, a lot to expect coming into this anime from 2017. Yeah, let's just do our first impressions of this shit. Miles, what have you got?
So, because this was our bad anime episode, I have a lot of first impressions coming out. I wasn't thinking, I wasn't excited for it. And then our span for this is 3 episodes, right? This is our first 3 episodes. So the actual low point of my life came around episode 3 of this show, where Kazumi went out in front of everyone and just started singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And I hated that. I'm a known Bocchi the Rock hater, and it reminded me a lot of the scene where Bocchi stage dives for no particular reason, where it's just what would possess a human being to do the thing that they did. I can't understand. It reminds me of something Michael Scott would do, and I hated it. So my first impressions were I hated it. I mean, the first 2 episodes were whatever. I mean, they're girls, they're trying to make a band. It's fine. She likes music. She learned she liked music because she saw people play music. But what really stuck with me is that Twinkle Twinkle Little Star scene. Did my impression of it go up after that? I'm going to go ahead and say yes. As to would I recommend this, I would say if you watch Bocchi the Rock and you were I want less memes and better character development,
wow,
this show's for you.
First of all, eat a dick, bro.
Wow.
So I mean, that's my take. So that's how I would do this. This is just Bocchi that's slightly less funny, but well written. Yep.
I like that take.
I mean, for me, that's a thumb sideways, but for most people, I imagine that's a thumbs up. But those are my thoughts.
Yeah. Great. Great. I love that.
Pete's BanG Dream at me right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna start singing Twinkle Twinkle to hopefully get you to change your mind.
Yeah, dude. You know what? You're gonna have a bad day down the road, and you're gonna type in Discord guys, I'm not having the best day right now. Blah blah blah. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna spam you Twinkle Twinkle Little Star all day, every chat. I'm gonna at you nonstop. That's what you get. Put some respect on Bochi's name.
Gave it an 8 out of 10, by the way. Kat,
Not high enough.
what is your yeah? What is
Pat,
your
Pat, what did
first
you give it,
impression?
by the way?
8 out of 10. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's what I thought I gave it.
This is the last episode. Fuck this shit.
Look, you've heard two haters. I am also a Butcher and Rock stan, dude.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, don't.
What?
What? Wait, you're a stan, but you're not
I am.
recommending Pochi?
He doesn't
am,
want. He doesn't
because I
want
know what he's gonna
Johnny
do.
to ruin it for him.
That's
Exactly.
a fair point. That's fair.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. My first impressions going into this, I thought that this show would, be something during the first 3 episodes. It's like when you look up Bang Dream on Mal, you see like there's the adaptation, there's a sequel, there's a ton of different like side stories and spin-offs of Bang Dream. Like there's got to be something to it. Well, first episode, second episode, uh it just completely killed me. It does nothing for me. Like absolutely nothing. Like I was disconnected from the characters from the get-go. I wasn't invested in the story, and it's got that little bit of change, like turn with the characters where it's just kind of it actively deters me from wanting to watch the rest. So I trudged through the rest of it and tried to shut my brain off. And then but the third episode was one of the most egregious like feelings of secondhand embarrassment that I've had in a long time watching anime, because I tend to try and get away from those situations. Like even Bochi with the stage driving scene did make me feel that way. Like that already shut me off. So
Spoilers for Bochi the Rock's episode like 13, by the way, or something, right? But
Bochi did something awkward. Oh no!
I know
Spoilers
you
for
never
every
would have seen it
episode.
coming.
I can't
Yeah.
believe you've done this.
Sorry, I just wanted to. I felt bad after the fourth time we've talked about it. But yeah, sorry. The secondhand embarrassment, though, yeah, that resonates heavily in this show.
Yeah.
In that episode. But yeah, sorry. Continue.
And this this show just feels like something that knowing that there is a mobile game based off of it, or there's a show, the mobile game is based off of the show. It kind of makes sense that they would do it almost as advertising. Well, not almost as advertising. Uh, and it seems like the type of show that Miles would stand. But here we are.
This is an adaptation of Bang Dream, the manga, or it's not. I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
an
if
original
Mal-
based off the mobile game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an
Uh,
advertisement for the mobile game.
yeah.
Which
But
awful.
but yeah, I would not recommend this at all. Just out. Like this isn't even like a starter anime. This is something that people would point to and be like, "This is why I don't like anime." So like, no, don't watch this.
Good choice. All right, Johnny, what about you?
This show, honestly, there were some cringe scenes. There's like a lot of bad as well as like CGI in the dances, just like, oh god. But like the worst crime that this show commits is just incredibly mid. Like absolutely nothing goes on for half the show. I can't even tell they're banned because they practiced like 3 times. This show this show is like, and like despite that, it has like 3 seasons, a movie, and like a mobile game that like makes millions of dollars. The show's like the Burger King of anime. It's mid. There's so much better, but it's somehow just still around, and just like for some reason, I guess people like it enough that they made 3 seasons of this. I don't understand.
This
It
is
is
a
like,
lot more than 3 seasons, by the way.
oh, this is like the
Pop and Party, specifically, one of like 57 bands, has 3 seasons. There are dozens of OVAs and movies and stuff for the other properties.
So this is like
Dozens.
this is like the fate of like idol anime mobile games.
There are 23 related stories and like related anime to this and then there are 3 side stories along with a sequel and an alternative setting, by the way.
I just
Whatever the fuck they say. All right,
don't
anyways,
under.
yeah.
Where's the demand for this? Apparently, people are.
Johnny's just flabbergasted that
speechless.
other people have different interests than me. Oh no.
Well, you know, those people are kind of cringe. Not gonna
Oh
lie. So
no.
would not
Your favorite
recommend.
anime is ReZero.
Shut up, Key. You pretend to be special when your favorite anime is literally the #1 anime on Mal. You're
It's
normie.
not.
It's
You
not.
forget now. It's like the number
Wait a
8
couple months.
anime
It's
on
gonna
Mal
happen
or something.
eventually.
Violet Evergarden
Violet
on the
Evergarden,
rise.
Oh, normie. Anyways,
I mean,
You love
yeah.
that show, by the way. Anyways, yeah. All right, cool. So do you I take it you don't recommend this?
I mean, I would recommend it if you like mid mobile games. So,
There you go.
but if
All
you
right.
don't, then
I love mid mobile games. So great. Good to know. Thank you, Johnny.
It's a pretty
Pete,
fun
what about you?
mobile game.
All right. Poppin' Party's biggest defender has arrived. I even wrote some lyrics for you guys. I hope you enjoy.
Can I mute him?
Here's the
Twinkle,
thing.
twinkle.
They started out friends. It was cool, but the band was pretend. Yeah. Since you're all wrong. They dedicated. They took the time. It wasn't long till I called them mine. Yeah. Since you're all wrong. Just kidding, it's April Fool's. This show sucked balls. The first 3 episodes were absolute trash. I did not enjoy any of it. Did it get better later? Yes. But the first 3 episodes, especially with the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star thing, was just pure cringe. Just the worst Chat GPT, insert idol anime dialogue, characters, everything is in Bang Dream. It was so cut and paste from a stolen copy rendition of Love Live, but then they're like, hey, change it a little bit so we don't get the plagiarized tag. And that's what they did here. I thought it was really, really bad. I would not recommend this to, I mean, unless you're like a super idol otaku guy, I'd recommend this to you. But to me, this show was just, especially if you're doing first impressions, just really bad. I would not recommend this to like almost anybody.
Yeah. All right. And then lastly, on my end,
No
this is my
encore?
first real.
You don't want me to do another one?
That was, I will
save it for
say,
Kelly Clarkson. That was clever, but
it was
Kelly-
very impressive. I was
Thank
impressed.
you.
with Pete.
Thank you.
Especially for
Yeah.
an original song.
might be better than the original song. Honestly,
What?
yeah.
No. Put some respect to Kelly Clarkson's name. That's a all-time
love
classic.
Kelly.
Top 10 song of all
Yeah,
time.
she's my favorite daytime
Yeah.
talk show host.
It's a
you
top
know?
10 song of all time. Rolling Stone
airs
Rolling Stone had a list of every music writer in America, and they give it the number 10 song. Of course, number 1 is Blame It on the Rain by Milli Vanilli. Top 10 song all time.
Yeah, cool. Okay,
I got hit
back
with
to
that. I don't know
back
how
to a top 50 idol anime all time in Bang Dream. Yeah, I guess so my real talking points or I guess first impressions of the show, as it is the first idol anime I've watched other than basically Zombieland Saga, and that's
I don't
about
think
it.
this is technically an idol anime.
It's
by
for
the
sure
way.
an idol anime.
No,
is an
they're in
idol.
bands. It's different. You know what? It's fine. Go ahead.
Because there's not like
I
a
get what you're
rank. We
saying.
can talk about it later. Okay.
Okay.
That's fair. But like, like all right, then fine. Love Live, whatever, K-On, like that sort of vein of a show. This is the first one I've ever watched. And I know it's not a good first impression for it. But I also kind of knew that I would not enjoy this kind of genre. The animation looks terrible. It looks better at 2 times speed. The voices sound better at 2 times speed. The pacing of the show is better at 2 times speed. I could not believe when I turned it back down for the final episode just at random points to see what it sounded like. I could not believe how slow they were talking. Like they would be having a conversation or be like, "Oh my god, look at your hair." And instead of like talking like a normal person would, it would be 10 seconds per sentence. And it was just like, how is this like are they filling for time? Are they just like is this just how this genre is where there's I don't know. This is how I view the way I viewed it was like I can see how people view slice of life now that really don't like it because I'm pretty neutral on like hit or miss on slice of life shows, but I can at least understand how people enjoy it. With a show like this, I was baffled. I could not believe that someone would watch this and think that this is like that. Yeah, this is peak. This is what I want to watch every day. This is the kind of show that I want to watch. So I would not recommend this to anybody. There's no real redeeming factor other than maybe the music in it is like fine, but again, it was better at 2 times speed because like the rock song that was going at maybe like I don't know 60 BPM before I turned it up on in speed was better, faster. So I really cannot say enough bad things about this show. I guess it looked fine when it wasn't CG. Those are our first impressions. That's a lot of really good first impressions. I think and yeah, don't get spoiled going forward as we talk about the very heavy story focused show that is Bang Dream here. So, yeah, who has the first talking point that they'd like to bring up?
I'll bring up one. So I had this thought when I first like at the beginning because I knew like before we started, Pete sent a GIF of Bang Dream, and it was of the CG girl going Bang Dream, and I was like, oh, okay, the whole thing's gonna be CGI, like Arpeggio Blue Steel or something like that, and I and the first episode, to my surprise, was hand drawn. And I was kind of wondering about it until I saw the actual performance at what whatever the what was the the club that they
Space?
were.
Space.
Yeah,
You're the
yeah.
new owner of Space. I said it in my intro.
Oh, yeah. Basically, just I after seeing the band that played there, I had to wonder like is that the reason why they went to CGI? Just because, like, there were 2 frames per,
I can answer that question. This is also maybe another thing that we can talk about with Miles about like whether this is an idol show or not. Idol shows, their performances are always done in CG, like no matter what. They're
Well,
always done.
that's just because it's easier to
I
than to
know.
animate it.
I
Okay.
know. But like that's like a thing though. To answer Kat's question, like for some reason they just have to do idol performances in CG, and so they did it again with Bang Dream. But like for you, Kat, would you like this show more if it wasn't in CG in the performances?
honestly, probably because, like, okay, I so for me, one of the hardest things about watching Zombieland Saga is when they go into CG for their performances. That's what throws me off a lot of times. It feel like because I studied a little bit of character animation for a little bit, and it feels like it goes back into like I can just see the grid kind of in my head. That's the reason why I don't like watching a lot of adult anime. Like even though I like Zombieland Saga. And this was another like situation of that. But I already didn't like the show, so it was just even worse. I think I probably would have liked it more if it was hand drawn, but like marginally. Like if zombie like compared to Zombieland Saga, if Zombieland Saga was hand drawn, I would probably bump it up another point. You know what I mean?
Well, since 4 of the 5 of us have seen Bochi, did the motion capture stuff in Bochi do anything like negatively for you?
No, absolutely not. I loved it.
God, I thought Bochi looked worse than this. I'm not even. This isn't even me memeing. This is not me memeing. I thought the performances in Bochi looked really stiff.
Yeah, I
Like
would actually agree with that.
I
Okay.
agree with that as well. I think my take would just be like if the whole show, if the purpose of the show is focusing on idols or the music or you would think the performance it would
Yes.
be like
Yeah.
it would be like if Naruto, the fight against Pain was all done in CG. Like that eliminates the whole point of the show. The coolest part of the show, the fight scene in a fight show, the theatrical performance in a show about an
Yes.
orchestra. Like, why is the most important part of the show, or the seminal moment of the show, why is it left to CG if that is what the purpose? And I guess it's because it doesn't bother the otakus or the fans of this kind of show as much, but it makes no sense to me at all. It'd be like running a business and saying, "Oh, well, the most important part of it, let's just let the computers handle it and not like bother with it." You
So
know? Like, I don't get it.
there's a flaw in your premise, right? Which is you are assuming that the most important part of this is these performances, which is not. That's a thing to think, right? Like I think that makes a ton of sense to think. What I would argue is that the cast of characters, right? They're like in all of these types of shows, be it your love lives and stuff. What you're selling are these characters, and then there's like some performance and stuff that like you can merchandise a bit, but like you know
Yeah,
what's
fair. They want to
important is
project onto those characters, right? Like either
yeah.
project and say, "Oh, she's my favorite, she's my waifu, whatever." So it's more important for them, I guess, to dedicate that time to character development or something. But like, I don't know. It bothers me so much that and again, these aren't meant to be shows that are critically acclaimed. These are just meant to be shows that sell things, right? And I guess I get that,
That,
but have some pride, man, as an artist.
have anyone here has seen Given?
I've
No.
seen some of it, not
Dang.
all of it. though.
Okay, because I want to make a kind of like with Pat's point, where like the emphasis is, it's like both these points where like Given is like this character driven story about music and stuff like that, and then the final like performance is not in CG, but like they're able to emphasize so much more through that animation storytelling. Like it like elevates the performance, and to me like made it so much better. I think something like Bang Dream not being in CG and like really elevating the performance could add something to it. Where we have seen, like, I know Miles has seen Love Live, and maybe it's not as high as this on me, but like I generally like when I think of Love Live, I think of Snow Halation. Like I think that's how iconic that performance is to Love Live. And you could have something like that with Bang Dream if they wanted to, but instead it's memed Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and like that's like what we're going to remember Bang Dream by. It's not Snow Halation, it's Twinkle Twinkle.
Okay,
We're not
well,
we're not their target
yeah.
demo though, which is
A
what the
cou-
problem
Oh,
is.
we
a
are
cou-
the target
yeah.
demo. Oh,
Okay.
we
I
are.
don't think we are.
Probably
Oh.
me more than you guys.
I mean, it's Johnny, but it's also me.
Here, like I guess here's my argument against this, Pete. Right? Like one, okay, I fuck with Snow Halation, right? Snow Halation's dope.
Oh, it's so
there
good.
are bad CG parts of Snow Halation.
Oh, absolutely.
And what would you say Muse's seminal moment in season 1 of Love Live is? Because Snow Halation is season 2 of Love
Is
Live.
it? Oh my god!
Yes.
Wow.
Right? So like I
So
mean
it's
you're
Nico
gonna have
Nico
to be like
the
well that's the thing,
that's
right?
the
It's like
pinnacle
a
of Love Live of
and
season
like
one.
Nico Nee like gets me. Like I love Nico.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
she's such a gremlin.
I think
like-
she's the second best character.
Yeah, I mean I think that you're wrong, but only by one spot. And like that's she's the third best character. No,
I'm cool. I can live with that. Top 3.
But yeah, like I guess like my thought is like I mean I don't suspect that I'm going to go watch the second season of Bang Dream, but like
No?
$20.
maybe there is something there. The only reason I watched both seasons of Love Live was to get the satire of Zombieland Saga better. But
And then you ended up enjoying Love Live.
yeah, I mean I mean I liked Bang Dream. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was fun. I liked the little things they did together. I thought that the CG performances weren't the worst Idols CG performances I've seen in my entire life. They had good motion and everything. It just takes you out of it because it's so different than like all the other animation. And like I wish that they would animate it. But like also, when did this come out? 2017?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many side projects do we say there were?
26.
23.
So in
26?
in 6
Okay.
years, they've pushed out 3 main seasons, multiple movies, and 26 side projects. That's why we don't have
Excuse me, 27.
My apologies.
27 side projects.
It's actually 28. Another one just got announced while we were talking.
Oh my god!
I'm actually
So-
drafting the 29th one right
Guys,
now.
Oh,
guys.
look at that.
Hold up. Hold the phone. I just got email. We are now sponsored by BanG Dream. Welcome to
Oh,
What Do You Say Anime, presented by BanG Dream. I am your host, Poppin' Party Pete.
As I was saying, 9 out of 10.
yeah. What would we do without it?
Uh,
Honestly, you know, we would.
Honestly, this is the most like just influential anime of our
And
generation.
thank goodness we voted on it, and we're watching it next week,
Exactly.
season 2 for Watch Club. That's
Ooh.
our
Yes.
This is
Oh,
now
yeah.
BanG
Can't
Dream
wait.
Watch Club. We're dedicating the next 2 years of watching.
We unironically could dedicate a
could.
year to
Yeah.
It's
could.
more than a year.
26
it's-
episodes.
We'll have
a little
to
bit over a
double
year.
up 1 week.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but we're gonna push through it for BanG Dream.
yeah. So like, I mean, I don't know. I think that like the musical performances are nice. No one at this point, like no one is expecting better because there is such a historical precedent of like CG and stuff. You see this in like other genres too. Like there's a good chance that Witch for Mercury is like the last Sunrise 2D mech show. Just because people who animate that, they're like running out of them. There's been so many delays because it's really hard to animate mech fights really well. As I imagine it's really hard to animate like a really good musical performance. And it's just if you can put it, if you can just make a computer model and it takes 1/100th of the time and it's 70% as good, it's just an easy business decision.
And like,
True.
you know, when was the last time you saw a horse running an anime that wasn't CG as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Those
you know,
Cars
I guess
even.
or car or whatever, like and not
Is
like
Uma Musume not CG?
okay.
Are they horses?
They are horses.
Yeah, but like
Do the horses ride?
They
They
are
are
horse girls.
reincarnated horses as human horse girls.
How did
okay,
we
but how
not
many
pick this
feet do
show?
they have?
I can't believe we didn't pick
How
it.
many legs do they have, Pete?
2.
Okay, so they run like humans.
But they're isekai. They were horses before.
Is Big Brown? Is there a Big Brown character?
They're all based off real horses, so there's a good chance.
Secretariat? Is there a
I am
secretariat?
so confused.
They have to avoid copyright laws on that one.
Is there a Bojack?
No.
Copyright law.
Okay.
No, I
Copyright.
did-
Secretariat was a real horse. What do you mean
ESPN did a
copyright?
30 for 30 on one of the horses based on one of the characters in that show. It's super interesting because the horse never won a race its entire career. It was like
The horse. Wait, okay. Was the horse based on the character of the show, like you
No.
said, or was the character based on the horse?
Yes,
Well,
that's-
depends on which
Anime
force.
transcends time.
It
so
depends on
was
which
actually the
Reddit
other way
thread you're on,
around.
but you know
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
All right.
Anyways,
I'm sure there's actually. I wouldn't be
Dream.
surprised if there's a horse named after an Uma Musume character, which is also based off of a horse.
That's
Okay.
fair.
That-
Okay.
Anyways, BanG Dream I have a comment. Something that made me pretty annoyed by this show is the way that it like it's pretended it was like too good for fan service because like their outfits are very like modest most of the time, but then it'll just give you a random like it'll just pan across their 5 asses for no and again they're in full skirts and like thigh highs, but they'll just pan across and so you can't see anything, but it's like still showing it to you. And it's like, why, if you're gonna pretend that you're not gonna have fan service, why? And of course, again, this is a rhetorical why, because do I know why? Of course I know why. But like it bothered the shit out of me because it did it like every episode, and there were like 5-minute segments sometimes where it just happened constantly, and it went from panning across their faces to just panning across their asses for no reason. It was just it's so jarring to me. Did anyone else feel that too?
Yeah.
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 Well,
I
okay.
felt-
To be fair, you know, when you were watching the show at times 2 speed, those were the only scenes you noticed. So that's how you know it's doing its job.
That's true. You know what? You're
That's
right,
how they
Johnny.
keep you invested in this show, where literally nothing else is going on.
That is also fair. Honestly, like when I was watching it, because it happened in the first episode as well.
Yeah.
Because like it's not like waiting for people to be like during a performance or anything. They're just doing it the whole like throughout the entire show. And like I feel like that just like threw me off a little bit, just because like the like going throughout the show and having it, yeah, I mean during like when they're in costume and all that, that it makes sense. But I mean, I don't like it. But like having it just be the entire like Johnny said, as joking as he was saying it, it's honestly a plot point of the show, pretty much. Just for how much they do it.
I also think it's like a cutting cost thing where it's like, what if we could save money and appeal to the masses? What if we just, what if we pretend the cameraman in the show was 3 feet 5 inches tall, and that's what they did?
It's actually the turtle thing from Mario, except it's like in Mario
Oh, yeah.
64, like the guy on the cloud, he's just like
He's got like a
standing
selfie
behind
stick, and
all
he's
these
just like,
underage girls because it's just like how he vibes.
Lakitu? Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, they needed that in Mario 64 because audiences were so confused by like a 3D game. So they
Mhm.
were like, "There's a cameraman," and it like to like give that sort of perspective for people who were playing 3D games for the first time.
also, fun fact, the cameraman in this show is the older brother of the cameraman in Rosario Vampire. Just a little bit taller.
And a
Ah.
little less
Yeah.
horny.
Just, I mean, still horny, but I feel like if they could
Yes.
switch, yeah.
No, but there's no guys in this show, so like, is he the only
Well,
guy?
there
or
is
it like
there is one guy
There are
in the
two.
show.
There are two guys
Two
in the
guys
show.
in the show.
Her dad and her little brother.
Yes,
Yeah.
June.
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
another
but, like
thing.
in the
Like,
school though.
well, the school being like like an all girls school, whatever. That doesn't. It's like, all right, that's just a
The
normal
audiences in the
theater.
being all women stuck out to me.
That
It
is
was
an impossibility in real life.
it was so funny though, because that just like the idea that there's like two men in this universe, like, and it's her father
We're all too
and her
busy
little
fake
brother.
dreaming to talk to men.
Yeah, I
I
guess so.
I was hoping that there weren't gonna be any, so that we could talk about how there were no men.
That was fun. But then,
But
If we could only be so lucky,
If we could only be blessed with that world, but we were not.
there's plenty of
praise
hentai to
be.
cover that plot.
yeah,
Yes,
there's
sir!
an anime. There's an anime
Didn't
that
you
covers
watch
that
the
plot.
whole thing?
What?
I,
Me?
I I can't last the whole time. What are you kidding?
No, I said Cat.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
Cat watched the
Well,
whole
I
thing.
just outed myself then.
Cool. All right. What else do we have anything else that we really want to say about the show, like specifically? Like what are some of our like, again, I commented on it earlier, maybe the music was like better than most
Fine.
idol music I've ever heard, cuz like I'll be honest, Snow Halation doesn't really do anything for
'Cause
me.
you
And of
didn't
course it's
watch the
because I didn't watch
show.
the I
You,
didn't watch the
you
show.
need the context for Snow Halation.
So a good song isn't just a good song
I mean, it's
because
a
I don't know the
banger,
like
but
that's
it's
my
even
point.
more
Like,
of a banger if you have context.
okay, so that and of course I understand that, right? So I'm never gonna hold that against Love Live, but like at the end of the day, it's like it's a fine song. It is what it is, and I wouldn't say that this is music was better than than that, but I'd say it was like on the same tier. So at least they put the money into that, maybe.
I, I would say for 15-year-old girls who are just starting the band, the music actually kind of makes sense. Like the lyrics that they did, like their first song was about like chocolate desserts. I'm like, yeah, that's something a 15-year-old girl would probably write about. So I think it like matched the tone of like what they were trying to go for, being like this really cute, fun girl band. And while I thought the music was just like average, I thought it like made sense with what the story was giving to us. I wasn't expecting like something from like Given or something from Beck or whatever, or something from Zombieland Saga or something like that. But like, yeah, it was fine. It gave me what I wanted. I guess is like what I was looking for. Nothing blew me away.
Okay. Yeah.
I was a very mild on the.
I liked Rosalia's outfits, but we didn't get to see them perform in this season, which was sad.
But the other band,
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
The
like the
yeah, I
goth
don't know.
ones.
Yeah, they were like the gothic Lolita.
Not
Sorta
wearing
like-
school uniforms.
Yes, they're the ones that didn't
Yeah.
wear school uniforms. But they were my favorite band in the mobile game until Morafana came out. So or more, I don't even know. The violin one. There's a band that plays electric violins, and I'm like,
It's pretty
"Whoo."
badass.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
some
they
yellow
have
card.
Grammy on-
Are there any dudes in the mobile
yeah.
game?
God no. What am I gonna play a mobile
sorry.
game with dudes in it?
Wrong.
Sorry.
There is.
Isn't that just Idolmaster?
Is there?
Yes, Argon Avis is the male group from the Bang Dream universe.
They're not in the mobile game.
Oh, but they are.
Oh shit. When did they get added?
2020.
Oh, when did I play? I don't know. Anyways.
Re-download it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have to get the dudes. That's
Clip
I'm
that.
playing
There we
mobile
go.
games
Yeah.
with dudes.
Like, all right. Do we have anything else like genuinely? Because I don't like I don't know. Like this
I
is
guess I'll say something. It's just
I think there's stuff to talk about. I mean,
Oh,
Johnny and
yeah.
I had a big fight about
okay.
the
Yeah, so it's like okay. Here's a thing that like I don't like about like a lot of slice of life anime is that like they try to like throw in some semblance of plot like towards like the second half of the show sometimes because it's just like oh like there's at least something going on here, but then it's just like it just thrown in here
This
so
is such a bad
artificially.
take. This is such a bad
I don't
take.
care. Like
You started
there's,
off
like-
with a bad with like
no,
with
I
the
don't
wrong thing.
like
let
it's
Johnny
like-
go. I kind of
okay.
can get his point of view as
and
well.
like so like in Dragon Maid, it kind of makes sense that like there's at least some conflict because the show builds it up. There's like hints to something else going on, like Toru's dad like not getting along with Toru and whatever. Like you can see that, but here it's like the jump from episode 6 to 7. Like episode 6, you're just having fun, whatever. Episode 7, suddenly, oh sorry guys, my mom collapsed. I gotta go back home. It's like just a sudden switch from like absolutely nothing going on to like a sudden change is just like it's just jarring. It's just like I don't think it fits at all.
I guess
So-
it's like okay, like to me, okay, I'm going into Bang Drain defense mode. Things did happen in the first couple episodes there.
Yes.
Like there was the Arisa subplot where she was like, weren't we supposed to be friends, but you're too obsessed with your guitar now and I'm a tsundere, right?
Yeah.
There was some
Is that a
drama
plot point?
there. Yes.
I would consider
You
consider
cannot
that more just a
you can-
gag.
You can like not care. It's a plot point. She cries. Like it. You can not care for it and overlook it. I think that's completely fair. But it existed. It was there. Like
These two are just on such different levels of like seriousness.
I
One is
guess
a
like
tsundere crying because she doesn't she someone hurt her feelings. The other was is that her mom has a serious medical condition. Like
okay, first off, her mom has anemia. Her mom really could honestly just take some iron
yeah, but in the
supplements.
context of the show, it's serious. So I don't know. Like
I know we'll have to get Socks in to ask how serious
Yeah,
they
anemia
need more
can be.
iron, I guess, in Japan.
Well,
Who
well,
knows?
Johnny-
Ask early. She's right
My-
here.
Yeah, my counterpoint, Johnny, to that would be for one, medical issues do come up out of nowhere sometimes with family members and stuff. Two, they kind of teased that their mother was too busy or that there were things going on at home that and of course they just really lay it on in episode 7 more so than normal, probably, yeah,
I
but
mean, yeah, they do.
but right, but like at the end of the day, I get so where your complaint makes sense to me, and to really just sum it up, just so that we because we had this conversation like throughout the week while we were watching the show. Your point was that like if they just talked it over, Saya, there would be no
Yes.
conflict. There wouldn't be conflict. But the counterpoint to that I think that most of us are agreeing with here or would be bringing up is the fact that for one, these are teenage girls that have that have other things going on, that don't know how to speak to each other, that have emotions and harsh reaction to things that don't make sense, and two, they're this is just It's just drama. It's stuff that happened. Like if something happened to your family member, what would be your first priority? Like going home to them or telling your band exactly what happened and then going? Like no, like and of course you would again, a logical thinker or person who is not emotionally invested might say, "Oh, I would tell my bandmates first so they don't worry about me." But people don't all react the same way. People don't all have the emotional maturity to make that choice or to make that sort of a decision like so lightly. So I guess that's where like again I get your perspective because I think it's pretty silly too that it's forced conflict and it's obvious that it's forced conflict because this show sucks and there's nothing else that they can do to create conflict. But it's still like I think it's pretty reasonable like that like it's a pretty reasonable thing to do to just be like I have to be home with my family. My mother just collapsed and yeah, she's just anemic, but I don't know. They also kind of hinted that she had other disease or something else going on. Like I don't know. That's and maybe she's anemic because she has cancer and they haven't found it yet, or maybe she needs to go to the hospital because of this. Like again, you don't know that until after the fact, so you have to react like I don't know if my mother suddenly collapsed. I'm sorry guys, I'm not finishing this podcast. I'm heading upstairs, or I'm going to the hospital, like it's not so like cut and dry is the way that I would argue it.
Bitten.
Like again, like I agree. My point was that like that kind of thing, like it doesn't fit in this show because nothing happens in like the first 6 episodes. If this was like some kind of like dramatic show, then like it would make more sense, even if it was just because it wouldn't feel like it was just thrown in here for the sake of you trying to care about these characters for even like a second.
I just
But
don't I just don't think that's right because like it's like saying that like okay because the first 6 episodes are like this then the rest of the episodes have to be like that. If they like killed off her mom, I would absolutely agree with you. Like that makes no sense. But like it's really
Yeah.
mild and the sense is like they're developing her as a character that she is showing that she puts others first before herself. That's like the whole thing with her character. And they're using her family as like the driving reason of why she does that. And then you see towards the end where like her mom's like, you need to be you. Like, don't worry about me. Like, I'm not dying. I'm just sick type of thing. And to me, that's where it's like, it's not forced because this is like a really thing that happens in life. And sometimes your parents just get sick or weak or like same with like a grandparent or something like that. Like they're not dead, but like they're just sick or something like that. And they're just going with the flow and she's understanding like what's important to her. And I think like that's like a really cool message that they didn't have to do with Bang Dream. It could have been like Idolmaster or even Love Live. Like we see that with Nico with like her sisters and her parents and stuff like that. Not to this extent, but like you see that she's like kind of doing this for like her sisters. I think it's like a really cool storytelling point. Developing this character as this not selfish person. And that's just how they did it was great.
okay, number one, it wasn't a thing that suddenly happened. She already had anemia. Second,
Yeah, I know.
I don't disagree with the fact that like the first half and the second half of the show, like they can be different. The thing is, this was literally a instant shift from the end of one episode to another.
But like
there
it
was
wasn't that
next
big of a
to zero
deal.
build up.
It like wasn't. First of all, you're saying zero. It's not. We had hints of it throughout the story. Like
there was barely any.
But there was there. Just because you missed it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
The slightest amount of build up.
Everybody caught it, but you. Like you need to understand that it's you. Everybody else saw this coming. Like it's there. So as long as we acknowledge that it was there. And then the fact that this person isn't dead, they're just sick. I don't understand how that's so like dramatic. Like, holy shit, she's going to die. It's like, nah, she has to go to the hospital and get some medicine. Like, that's it.
So
like, that's a thing that happens.
So then why would she have to ditch the concert if it wasn't that serious?
Because she's worried about her family. That's the whole point of her character. How is this hard to understand, John?
Part of it is that she's overreacting after the fact, right? So the initial thing happens, she's scared, she goes, the family doesn't know what's up, right? Her mom fainted. Then she continues to overwork herself, though it is not necessary, because she is trying to support her family. And that's her character arc is to learn.
I don't disagree with that. I disagree with how they did it. Again, it's like, I think there was barely any build up. I don't like you guys might think differently. That's fine. Maybe I just didn't pay attention, but like to me, there was barely any build up because for the first half of the show, there's barely anything important that happens. And then suddenly at the start of episode 7, they show you a traumatic flashback.
But
Like-
we already know she had to quit the band for some reason. We already know that she works at home for there were clues there. Another thing I would say is that I think this is a rare scenario where her talking it out with the band members is completely irrelevant and wouldn't have changed anything.
Correct. She still would have quit the band. She still would have done all that for like her mom. Like she obviously is putting the band second, and that's like the whole point of her character. But like, if you wanted to add like light drama, this seems like really light drama for a show that, if you're trying to develop a character, this seems like perfectly fine to me. I don't get it, I guess.
I do get Johnny's like I would say like I'm not as I don't think it's as overly dramatic as Johnny seems to do, but I do think it's like maybe half a step more than I was expecting out of Bang Dream. That doesn't mean it's bad, but I did think, well, this is a little more serious than I was expecting the show to be, which isn't bad. It's just I do understand what he's saying there, I guess.
It's almost like like emotional manipulation where the show like pretends it's more than what it is. Like it's trying to get you to care about this when you just cannot.
I feel like if they killed her mom, then it would be manipulation. But this is just like a really normal scenario that happens to people, and she's experiencing it firsthand. Maybe it didn't happen to you, but it happens to a lot of people. It's just like if you fell off your bike, like you may have not fallen off your bike, but somebody else has. Doesn't mean it's like less serious or something like that, or less dramatic.
My point.
Let me ask you this: how would you want them to do like if they wanted to do like a family angle for a character, like a family first character? How would you have done it?
Okay, number one, make the show feel like it actually has some like actual heavy topics instead of just girls hang out and eat cake for 6
that's
episodes.
not happening. It's called Bang Dream, and they're called Popping Party.
So that's why it doesn't fit here. That's exactly why it doesn't fit. This kind of show.
Then no drama should exist ever in the show. You are not allowed to have drama in the show. That's what Johnny's saying.
That's actually fair. That's actually fair.
No
if
drama.
this happened in some show that actually like made any effort for you to care about the characters, then maybe I wouldn't be affected. But considering that this show goes out of its way to make you not care about anyone. Because it's supposed to be just some fun idol show that's an advertisement.
That's just you. The show,
29 episodes.
The show tries really hard for you to like the characters. They do.
There's 29 seasons of this show. And
well, they're not all
there's
of
supposed
these.
to be some deep emotional message behind them.
Whether you like the characters or not, the show tries to make you like the characters.
Well, it failed. I don't know.
Yeah. Once again, to you need to understand that there are things in the show for a reason.
For me as well. I'm not saying that you can't enjoy it. I'm trying to explain it from my point of view. That's all I'm doing.
You are stating things in this discussion that are just wrong. They're not even opinions. You're just saying things that, like, they existed, but you refuse to acknowledge that they existed.
We're being
I don't
very...
refuse to acknowledge it. I say it doesn't fit.
It's being semantical. We're just arguing over semantics at this point.
Yeah.
The point that Johnny is trying to make is that because it failed to make the characters for him that attached to him, the tone shift felt out of place to him.
Okay.
Like that's what he's trying to say. He's stating it as if it's a fact, but what he means is like he didn't feel it. That is his fact. The fact is he did not feel the characters.
Okay, like let me like
no, we're good.
put this analogy in a better way. It's like
next topic.
Okay, fine.
We should.
I spent too long on this, anyways.
That's more a conversation about the show than the rest of this episode has been. So there you go.
Who would have thought we would get heated over Bang Dream?
I
Pete's
know.
gonna
Right?
I'm trying to
edit
make content here. I don't know.
It's just me talking and Johnny's just cut.
It's just me getting mad at nothing, and everything you're saying is false.
Oh.
All the listeners are like, "Who's he?
Who's he talking
Is
to?
Pete? Is Pete?
Is he okay?
Is he okay?
No, I
They
just
know
got
he's not
tattooed. I'm
okay.
kind of
At this-
sick.
At this point, they know he's not okay. Come on, let's go.
Common
We
knowledge.
host an anime podcast.
Johnny just made Pete raise his Bang Dream score by 2 points.
I'm gonna give it a 10. Suck it.
Yeah.
I'm
Speaking
gonna
of-
this is my if her flag breaks for Haz. This is my if her flag break.
What I guess I would like to have a quick talk about And we can do this really quick. I know that we normally say this to the end, but like I feel like this is something worth discussing, as I believe it's the point of the show. Um, One thing that I'll quickly agree with Johnny on is I think they gave character development to like exactly just Seiya. Like that's it. Like that's the only character that really had a spotlight on her that wasn't Kazumi, the main character. And like I thought that was a weird decision. Like what the hell was Rimi doing or whatever?
Oh, she
Like
had the episode where she ran away 3 separate times from the conversation. That drove me nuts too. That specific episode where it was like, "Oh, let me go and try and talk to her." She stands there, gets scared, runs away. "Oh, let me go and try to talk to her." They did that same scene 4 times in a fucking row, and it was just and then suddenly it's all resolved at the end. But yeah, like you're saying, there are characters that like Seiya actually had something happen,
there was like an
but
arc. It was like
there's
a
an arc to it.
multi-episode arc.
Right, versus no one else really got that much of a spotlight. You get hints of it, of
Whoa.
course, like, but
Tay owns 20 rabbits, bro.
I know that you read that on her Mal page, right?
And I
Like,
watched the TV show.
Okay, you know what was
Did they say
sad
20?
for me?
'Cause I
Tay had a shirt called that had USA USA on it, and I thought it was gonna. I felt like my initial thought was it was like USA USA, and then I was like that doesn't make any sense. And then it's just rabbit. It's like bunny because she loves bunnies so much.
Best girl.
But see that's an insane take to me because this was my point. I wanted to talk about who's best girls or anything and why it almost by default has to be Seiya because
Wrong.
Yeah.
she's the only character with
Wrong.
any amount of depth.
Well,
But like I guess
the
depth
owner-
isn't necessary.
The owner.
Oh yeah, she's too good for this show though.
True.
So that's why she shuts down Place. She sees Pop and Party play one show and it's like it's over.
It's done.
Cut it.
I'm not dealing with this shit anymore.
Oh goodness. Anyways, having said that, Arisa's my favorite because she's the tsundere. Who is everyone else's favorite?
Also, with that
I
logic,
have to pick.
Tay is my favorite. I love Airhead characters, and I also love it when they do the trope where like her mom is an Airhead too, and then Tay's like, "My mom's such an Airhead." It's just like the Spider-Man meme where they're like pointing at each other. It's just like I love that stuff. It's like, are any of these characters good? No, but it's like which one did I have the most fun with? I had the most fun with Tay.
I guess I'm gonna be the cliche and say Seiya, just because a lot of the other characters were like the fun was marginal, like they were about the same area, and because of that, I would have to go with Seiya because of the depth. That's about it.
Guess for me, again, these characters are barely even characters to me. I remember one's name maybe, but I guess I'll go with the Tsundere girl's grandma. She was pretty cool considering she just let everybody eat at her house. Like no questions asked, just like here you go, just eat dinner at my house,
She's the
have
cool
breakfast,
mom.
stay at my house, take a shower, go use my basement to practice music, do whatever. Like
Your grandma
That's-
doesn't do that?
No, 'cause
There's
my
a
grandma's in
lot of
China.
people who don't do that.
Your grandma's in China.
your
That's
grandma just lets people eat at your house
Yes.
uninvited.
She will cook for people, bro.
Okay, my mom was the cool mom. My friends would just come over to my house and hang out
too.
with my parents, and my mom would just cook them food.
That's what I'm saying. That's what my grandma would do.
I mean,
Like,
it's cool, but like I don't think a lot of people's grandmas these days would do that.
Yeah, no, that's why she's the cool grandma.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
the whole
That's why
point.
she's best girl.
I
There you
like
go.
that pick.
that's
Fair
fair.
enough.
That's
Good
fair.
pick. For me, yeah, I'd say Saya's the most interesting out of them all, but similar to Pete, I like Tay's airheadedness, and so I used it. Her mom was hot, so there you go. You know
Her
what your
mom's in the
work.
show.
It's a
Yeah,
good
your
metric.
work.
Yeah.
So there you go. I
Pat,
don't
can I
know.
ask you a question real quick?
Oh
What's up?
god,
Who's
here
your-
we go. What?
No, Pat.
Oh.
Is your favorite girl from Zombieland Saga also Tay?
No, it's Yugiri.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
it's-
That's right.
It's yeah, the courtesan from the coolest era in Japanese history. So yeah, cool. Yeah, let's talk.
1997.
1997.
The
Yeah,
economic
yeah.
downfall of
No,
'97.
The
It's
hottest
even-
was
I don't know. Can we do closing thoughts? Are we good? We feel good about this?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do our closing thoughts and our final scores of BanG Dream, baby. What have you got, Miles?
So, when Preston, who is a coward, initially did like this one, he posted this GIF of Kasumi going, "Bam," and it said "BanG Dream," and I waited all season for that to happen, and it never did.
Happen, no.
So I'm pretty disappointed. Ultimately, I don't know. I thought the show was like fine. Like it really wasn't the worst thing I've ever watched. I'm trying to think about what I should give it. I'm torn between a 5 and a 6. I'm 100% serious. I didn't mind it. I enjoyed the characters enough. It was just so fine. It definitely didn't like make me feel anything, which is why I think I'll go with like a 5. But like I also don't think like a 6 is like incorrect. I don't know. It wasn't that bad. I just don't think it was that bad. I think it was like kind of boring. Like they could have done some stuff to try more, but like I don't know. They did the formula just fine, right? Like the formula was there, and it
That's
was
fair.
fine.
The formula. Alrighty. Yeah. They did some chemistry and didn't mess it up too much at
Yeah,
least.
exactly. Yeah, they were like, here's a dash of tsundere, and then some slight parental tragedy, and then, you know, fun, like a pa pee or whatever. That was fun. I thought it was fun. I had a fun time.
Yeah, them having a stroke the first time I
Yeah,
heard
I
it, it sounded
really,
like it's really
yeah.
when you hear it on 2 times speed too, it sounds like a stroke. Like seriously, it's pretty fucked. Sorry, another bad joke by us to end the show. Kat, what about you? What do you think?
So this show is
Oh, this show does have a genre, by the way.
No,
There's
it
a genre.
doesn't. Yeah.
It's too good for a genre. It transcends all genres.
so
It's my
in
favorite shonen.
okay. I'm gonna start off with my closing
Yeah,
thoughts
sorry.
first.
Sorry.
So in college where like you have to score 60 in order to pass the class, right?
Yeah, D's get
And
degrees, baby.
I
yes,
did that.
but
Or
in
beatings from your
community
parents.
college, you have to score a 70 for you to be able to transfer that credit, right?
Mhm.
So here's the thing. This is not this is basically a 60 of idol anime from my perspective. It's enough to pass. It's enough to not be absolutely horrid. But because of that, I feel like it hinders it because here's the thing. Here's the reason why I was pulling for bad anime this year. Because the last few bad anime we've had have always been fun things to shit on. This this wasn't exactly fun to shit on. It was just kind of something that all like some of us had things to talk about, but I personally didn't really for the most part. And it feels like one of those shows that's going to be unremarkable. It makes me want to drop at a point because of that. Just because there's nothing remarkable about it. It's okay. It's absolutely okay. Just it passes, but it's not transferable. And that's kind of what I feel about the show. Honestly, my final score is a 4 out of 10.
I've
Just
changed
because
my mind. I think this is a 6. I apologize for stealing that. I've just been literally deep in thought about that. Cat, please continue.
Or what? So
You
a
should
four
lower
cat.
1 point just to make it
yes,
even.
it is a it's a 4 just because like it would be a 5 if it just was a little bit more
Worse?
bad. Yeah.
I like that. I enjoy it.
Not bad
I think
enough.
that's good.
I think that that's a good point though. Like our conversation tonight, like we had some good things to talk about. Like I don't know, but when we've disagreed about shows in the past or bad shows in the past, so like I don't know, like Razefon or um,
Um
Elfen Lied,
Handshakers.
Handshakers. Like we've had stuff to like actually like discuss and disagree about. This is like so run of the mill, like you said, that it's hard to really uh like I don't know. This is an idol, or
The
this is a girls doing a band thing anime, and there's really not much to say about it.
Exactly. The only real like discourse we had about this was when Pete and Johnny were going into semantics, and that's like that's like every show that they're on together. So it doesn't really mean anything.
Fair.
Like that's not even brownie points. That's just like, oh, you have a 60.2. Whatever. Like you passed. We get it.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Johnny, what about you, Johnny? What do you
Well,
think?
in my defense, Pete committed the criminal offense of slightly disagreeing with me, so I had to put him in his place. But
Yes, of
You
course.
lost.
anyways, no,
I
you
think
only
we all
lose when you
lost.
admit you lose.
There's
Pete.
We
literally
all
no one
lost.
out there that'll be like,
Situation.
yeah,
You
Johnny
only
got his
lose when
ass
you admit you
real
lose,
good.
and I never lose.
All
I
right,
might for
guys.
the chaos.
But anyway,
I-
this
yeah.
show is like, if K-On was like Coca-Cola, this is like off-brand cola that you get in like some random ass off-brand convenience store where it's like it tastes fine, you know. If you gave this to someone blindfolded, they probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But once they look at the label, they're just like, "Oh, what is this? Like, where's the real stuff?" This is just like the most like generic idol show, if you can consider it that, where it's just like
Oh, we never got
nothing of value happens, and they pretend that like you're supposed to care about it, but then you just look at it and you're just like, okay, why should I care about this? This is like the most mid of mid I've ever seen. So this is just this. I'm just gonna go with the middle of the spectrum and give it a 5 out of 10 because this is just it does almost nothing. Like
'Cause it's
seriously,
mid. It's mid. Thank you,
this is
KSI. All
how
right.
Pete describes Attack on Titan.
Pete, what about yeah, is this Attack on Titan? What do you think, buddy?
I'm scoring
What's
this
your verdict?
higher than. No, it's the same score as Attack on Titan.
I like this more than
Yes.
Attack.
It's close. It's the same score. I like if I had to pick between season 2 of Bang Dream or season 2 of Attack on Titan, I'd probably pick this. That being said, like kind of like the type of show that this is, where you can be really tropey and make the characters really just like stereotypes of other idols, can be fun. Like if you watch something like D4DJ, that they take the same like premise except they make them DJs and make it a really fun show, like, and still super CG, and have like a really good time with it. But this show to me just didn't execute on anything other than trying to like progress the plot of making a band. Like I didn't laugh really. I didn't find like the conversations entertaining. I guess we never got to our idol conversation, but Miles, is it because there's no like ranking system that it's not an idol show?
It's because they're in a band. I think like they play instruments and stuff. I don't believe idols do. Like I
Okay.
think that that's the difference. I'm not sure exactly what the difference is, but I would like I think for us like in the West that aren't into idol, like if you're not into idols, I think this is an idol show. If that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Like yeah,
Because like I
um,
consider like D4DJ an idol show, even though they're
yeah,
DJ.
that's like probably wrong, but like also not wrong.
From our perspective, it's not very wrong. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah.
So that being said, like the show, it was just like fine throughout. I thought the beginning episodes were bad, but then just the rest of the show was just fine. I did like the end performance. I thought like that was a good way of kind of like ending the season on like a good note, that they kind of achieved, you know, the doki doki they were looking for on stage, and they got that. And I'm guessing
Kira,
they
Kira, Doki Doki.
yeah. And like the songs about like writing songs about donuts or something is fun. It's whatever. I'm gonna give it a 5. Yeah, it was fine.
There you go. I feel like I've already chimed in a good amount in these closing thoughts. I think yeah, I really don't have much else to say about this. I was disappointed, even though I went in expecting pretty low bar, because I didn't expect to enjoy this show in terms of like just the genre and like what it is, but I was hoping for a little bit more. Maybe I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 because those first few episodes. That's a good point, Pete. Like it did get better as the show went on, but those first few episodes were a slog to get through for me. I was bored out of my mind and just I don't know. Again, I think this show was best consumed not at the speed that it was written at or written to be consumed at. So I gave it a 4 out of 10. I would not want to watch any more of this kind of content, and man, it's gonna be hard to get me to sit down and watch Love Live now. You know, I know Love Live is not the same kind of show, but it's the same.
It is.
Well,
It's this, but better.
Right? Yeah. All right.
Well,
That's
good news for you, Pat. If we do have to watch it again, season 2 is a 7.58.
oh, and season twos are always better than season ones, especially on Mal with their scoring. Yeah, let's go with that. Sure. So yeah, so our final aggregate score between the five of us averages out to a 4.8 out of 10. So is that better than Handshakers? I think
It's pretty close.
It's
it is.
close.
Yeah, it's very very close. So yeah, that's final our final score. Good for us.
4.66 for Handshakers.
4.66 for Handshakers. Oh, so it was better. We ended up liking this more than Handshakers. So good job, guys. Let's talk about what we're watching for our next watch club, which will be a little earlier than normal, but that doesn't matter to people listening. So yeah, we'll figure that out. But it would be for our normal meeting session on the 17th of April. What are we watching, Miles?
So, really quickly, I liked the scene where they ran the guitar to the music shop.
So
like
good.
it was, I thought that was funny. And that
That
was in
was
the
pretty
first 3
funny.
episodes.
Yeah.
But that was like the only time I laughed in the first 3 episodes. Okay, we had a really tight race this week. In third place, we have Inspector and no wait, what do we have? Fuck. Okay. Sorry. In third place, we have Link Click.
God damn it.
But when you add the legacy points, the 4 from the 8 legacy points Link Click has, does it win? We'll find out at the end of this.
Yeah.
In second, we have Inspector. In first place, we
Good
have
one, didn't it?
Spice and Wolf Season 2. Now, Link Click got 15 points.
Say it.
You add the 4. You plus 4. That's 19 total points. Spice and Wolf had 20 points.
Yeah. It's so good.
Oh my god.
The best part is Miles and I were talking about this a few days ago, and it was like Link Click was ahead by a lot, like especially because it had the legacy points kicking in at the end. But yeah, no. So for season, we are going to be watching season 2 of Spice and Wolf. So we're going on an economic journey for the second time.
I'll
in
have to
3
watch 2
sessions.
episodes. This is great.
Yeah.
There is yeah. I would like to thank Pete for voting for Spice and Wolf season 2 second instead of third. That's why it won.
Welcome to the club.
I also want to. I'll have to redo. I've counted twice, and Link Click and Spice and Wolf were the same each time, but whether Vampire or Inspector was third swapped. So I'm going to recount, but I also might just give them both a legacy point.
This is how Trump feels and during the presidency. I get it.
Did you get
yeah.
I get it.
You understand now?
Stop. Look, count.
Yeah, we're indicting him soon. Yeah, I guess so. There we go. What was your crime, Pete?
Smuggling
being
gold.
fringe?
Okay.
Trading.
Okay.
All right, so now
So Link Click now has 9 legacy points. A remarkable
God.
9
Is that more
legacy
than
points.
mine show? Is that more than my shows?
by
Yes.
far, yeah,
By
most
It
of your
is-
shows have like 4 total.
Classroom of the Elite has 6, so it has 150% of Classroom of the Elite. And Chinibio is your next highest with 3.
Real?
Yep. So there you go.
I even picked out a new show because I thought Link Click was going to win.
I'm gonna
Well, now
say
you know
I
how
thought Link Click was gonna win too, until we got some spicy votes at the end.
Who-
Some spicy votes.
Who am I banning from the Discord?
You.
Shit! It was me the whole time.
Can't wait to learn about the
I was
economy
my
again.
own
I'm
roasted.
excited for more Spice and Wolf. That'll be fun. But yeah, so let's talk about what we're nominating. So that some of us can go watch our college go win a national championship. Hopefully, knock on wood.
You
we
didn't
win.
there.
I went there in spirit. So
Mm.
I have credits from there actually because of my high school. So checkmate, boom roasted.
You got me.
Yeah. What is your nomination, Miles?
So I actually had time to think of this one, unlike the last 2 times I've won, where I had to switch because Kat wanted to nominate something, and then I was banned from Toradora, and then I forgot why. Wow, the last 3 times I've won, it's just been me picking literally like the first thing that comes to my mind. Anyways, I'm gonna do another sequel. I'm like feeling that. I'm gonna do the Revue Starlight movie. I feel like
It's so good.
that's why I'm doing it.
Oh, yeah,
um,
another idol.
a movie would be nice. And people like suck that movie's dick. So
It's really good. I almost gave it a 10. Almost.
okay.
People is
So-
Pete, so there you go. So it's Revue Starlight movie. All
Yeah.
right. Kat, what about you?
So for me, I see that this didn't place, but I will nominate it again. I'm going to nominate The Vampire Dies in No Time.
It might have placed. I have to.
I'm pretty sure it did place based off of
Oh.
the math that we're doing.
Well, hopefully it wins over Link Click. It probably won't, but
it had
might.
more points than Link Click did before Legacy, so it does. It
That
should
is
get.
hilarious.
It should get points, or it
Yeah.
should get like an
Yeah,
Legacy
the third place is switched when I did a recount because it was so close between Link Click with the legacy points and just Spice and Wolf 2. And so I'll do a third recount really quick after this and see what happened. But I think it'll probably just get a legacy point anyway. Everything was really close.
But all right, and Johnny, what about you?
Yeah, so I don't know, I kind of want to do Eden of the East, but I feel like it's gotten old now. I feel like people don't care about the fact that it's a crazy show. But I'll be honest, I don't have anything else to nominate, so I guess I'll just go with that again. Plus, it's the only show that's actually mentioned my name, so.
Eden of the East. There you go. And
your
Pete, are you
name is
doing Link Click again?
So this is the time where I'd say, of course, I'm nominating Link Click, but since I'm going to Japan and when I get back, I'll have 2 days to watch whatever show wins this time. I'm gonna nominate something different this time only. I'm going to nominate the movie Memory.
Okay.
Memories.
See, this
okay.
is the time where Pete actually wins, and then we don't nominate.
I've won a lot. It's just now Link Click has been memed to the fact that you call it Blue Lock. That it's like it's
That's
just
how he voted for it.
it's
Oh, but I should nominate Blue Lock next time.
it's just it's transcended an actual show to what it is now in our Discord.
Wait,
I
I said Blue Lock again for the vote. Hold on.
You should have, even if you didn't. Just go.
That would have been so funny.
Just go with.
All right, and I'm nominating Link Click. No, just kidding. No, I'm gonna nominate.
That would be so funny. Do it.
No,
Yeah,
pressure's
yeah,
not
let's
here.
steal it.
Do it and it wins.
I know that's
That's fine.
Really funny.
I want to watch the show. I don't care if I would.
don't.
I don't care.
I don't, so that's why I'm not gonna do it. I actually did come in wanting to nominate a sequel as well for Watch Club. I would like to do Haruhi season 2.
Ooh, Haruhi season 2. Okay.
Yes, yeah, not
Interesting.
Bang Green season 2. I want to do.
Do you want to watch the
endless-
same episode 8 times?
Yes, I do. Again, you two are
I
the
think
only
I'll
two I've really heard talk shit about.
Well, Pat's
the
gonna
show.
watch it on 4x speed, so he's not gonna be able
that's
to
totally-
understand it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. No,
Trust
I am.
me, you
gonna...
can skip all of it. It's fine.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna watch it, and I can't wait. But yeah, all right. I think that wraps up our Watch Club with all your nominations. And yeah, Pete, take it away.
Hey, and if you made this far and you want to support us, the best way to do so, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on whatever platform you're watching and or listening to us on. Next week, we have 2 episodes dropping. We have Anime Jeopardy 9, and we will have me and Pat doing the Suzume movie review. So look forward to that. I got a whole lot of fun stuff dropping while I'm in Japan, so look forward to that. I'm not going to spill the details yet, but we got some fun stuff coming up. Otherwise, if you are here for Watch Club, join us in 2 weeks for Spice and Wolf Season 2. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.